Hey guys, GG here, and I'm bringing you a Dota 2 video on the new 6.82 Dire Side Ancients. Uh, as you may know, 6.82 is coming out in a couple of days, and the Dire Side Ancients and the Roshan Pit have been completely reworked, as well as the surrounding trees and paths near the bottom rune and between the offlane towers. So I'm just going to be doing a quick demonstration of how to block this new ancient camp and how to deward any blocks that may occur from the enemy team. So first of all, let's just take a look at the spawn box of the camp. The spawn box is pretty self-contained. As you can see, there are only a few parts of the spawn box that are not inside the actual low ground camp, which makes blocking the camp without placing a ward inside of it a bit difficult, but there are a few places where you can still place a ward on the high ground to block the camp. Now obviously, to block any camp, you just have to place a ward inside the spawn box, and nothing else will spawn inside that camp. For this dire ancient camp, placing a ward inside the actual low ground camp is fairly easy to deward, as I will show you right now. So if anyone places a ward inside the actual low ground camp, you can just stand right here and take a look at this stone circle fireplace. You want to place a ward 1, 2, 3. On the third stone, you can place a sentry ward right outside the stone. And if we take a look at the sentry, as you can see, the entire low ground is covered by this sentry. There is not a single place where someone can put an observer ward that will be in the low ground, but also not in the range of this sentry ward. This one is outside the spawn box as well, so you won't block your own camp. So most people will not put a ward inside the low ground camp. They will try to place one on the high ground, where it is much more difficult to deward. Now there are a few places where you can place an observer ward to block the camp, which I will show you right now. The first is in between these two trees over here. It's also pretty nicely blocked by this tree, so it's a bit harder to see if someone might miss it if they place a sentry near here. But you can place one in between these two trees. The next one is just a bit below that, right next to these two trees over here. This one is a bit harder to place. You kind of have to spam like as close as you can to this tree, and then slowly move your way back, or else you'll place the observer ward outside the spawn box, and it will not block the camp.
Violet Vance.
The next one will be over here, next to this tree, if I can manage to place it. Yeah, right here. This one will also block the camp, and it's pretty nicely shielded by the high ground and these two trees over here, as well as this cliff.
My venom flows.
The last high ground ward is over here on this cliff. As I slowly make my way over,
Yes.
You can place it anywhere on this cliff and it'll be fine. These two spots
Attack.
are all good.
This way.
So as you can see, there are these 1, 2, 3, 4 high ground wards that all block this ancient camp. And if you notice, there's only one possible way you could deward all of these with one sentry, and that's just to place it inside the camp. But obviously we can't do that, so we're gonna have to use at least 2 sentries to fully deward this camp. The good news is you can use these 2 sentries very efficiently, and I will show you how right now.
Yes.
So the ward I placed in the beginning this ward near the stone circle, the third stone. This is actually a very good ward to start with, because just in case someone does put a ward inside the low ground, you will cover it, and you will also get both these this high ground ward in case someone places one here. You'll get this cliff, which is also a pretty good ward for people who want to see the ancients as well as anyone going to the secret shop. And you will also get a little bit of this cliff in case someone gets a little lazy and places one too close over here. You can get one over here as well. So it's a pretty decent ward. Now if you do place this ward, be sure to use it in conjunction with this one right here. As you can see, there's this little path between this like fork in the road, and you just want to place it in between the two trees right here. So right here. And what this one will do is it'll cover all three wards on the right side. So 1, 2, 3, all covered, and then it'll get this hill over here in case someone decides to ward here, and it'll also get any wards that people might drop between your T1 and T2. It only covers like the slight edge, but usually people only ward from the trees anyway because they don't want to be seen. So most wards will be on the left side over here. So you can potentially get 5 wards all at once, which probably won't happen obviously, but it's a pretty decent ward to pair with this one. As you can see, it covers the entire area of the ancient camp. Now there is another pair of wards that is pretty good to use together.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
This next one you can place from inside the ancients, or you can do it from Roshan. You want to place it right here.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Now what this one will do is it'll get these 2 wards, so these 2 bottom wards. It'll cover most of the low ground camp, not the very top, but the majority of it. It'll cover this hill, and it'll cover the entirety of this hill as well. So you can potentially get 1, 2, 3, 4 wards in just this one area of sentry. Now if you're gonna place this sentry ward and you don't find anything, it's good to pair it with this one right here. So as you can see, this one will get these 2 wards and the bottom half of the camp, and if you place this one, it'll cover the top half, and it'll get these 2 wards right here. And it'll also get this hill and any wards that they might place here or inside the secret shop or whatever. Now you may notice that this ward is just barely on the edge of the sentry, and you might say, oh, if they move it like slightly back, it'll be out of range. But if they move this observer ward even just the tiniest bit back, it will be outside the spawn box, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, just remember this ward and this ward, as well as this one and this one, and you should be fine dewarding any wards that they might use to block your ancients. And as for avoiding these dewards, I know we're getting a bit like mind gamey here. It can be very beneficial to cut down some of these trees because it'll make them think that you might have placed a ward there. If you do cut down any of these trees and place a ward on top of them, they will block the camp. So if you are trying to block, you can cut down some of these trees and maybe fake a ward like over here when you're actually like placing it over here, so they waste some sentries over here or something. But yeah, anyway, if you guys find any more warding places or neat little tricks, feel free to leave any comments below, and obviously feel free to leave any suggestions or critiques, and tell me if you're excited about 6.82. I know I am. I'm really excited to test out the new Phantom Lancer. That rework seems kind of overpowered to me. But yeah, if you liked the video, feel free to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. I know I've been coming out with these videos for a while, but 6.82 kind of nullified like the last 3 videos I did. Like Tinker's March doesn't work anymore. Damage amplification mechanics got changed. Damage types got changed as well. So like I'm gonna have to redo all of those. So anyway, if you guys wanna see more videos like this, feel free to follow me. And thanks for watching. Also, if you are lazy and you don't want to like come back to this video all the time to figure out the wards, I did put a picture in the description below of all these ward spots and these spawn blocks. So you can just click that link and save it or something, and it'll show you all the ward spots.